Violent video games. You may think they have no effect on children and teens, but they do, and I'm here to tell you why. Over the many years, video games have become very popular. Some games may have educational content, while most games have negative content such as violence and graphic language. Violent games are known to increase aggression, change behavior in many ways, and affect brain development. Today, I'm here to persuade you why children and teens should be limited or have no access to violent video games. Not many realize the negative impact that violent video games have on children and teens. Children at a young age are learning through imitation. What they see, they will mock. If they see you brushing your teeth, they will want to be involved and do the same. I've worked with kids for 5 years, and I've noticed that children imitate what they see others do and what they watch on television. Therefore, while the children are playing these violent video games, they are watching animation fight and do other violent things and will imitate what they are playing. Many children and teens who play these video games are not old enough and do not understand the difference between the game and reality. And when faced with real-life problems, they may act abnormally or in an socially unacceptable manner. According to commonsensemedia.org, children who are exposed to violent video games are more likely to become aggressive. Although the aggression may only last for a short amount of time, it still affects the children's personality and can lead to tempers and irritation. The child or teen may also show aggression in real-life situations, which can get out of hand. The effects of violent video games are as diverse as the number of games out there. iBuzzle.com states that one of the most severe effects of violent video games on children is that games become addictive. This can be very bad because the child or teen might not do any productive activity and become very lazy. This is where it starts to affect academics. The children and teens become so involved in the game that they do not realize how much time they are spending playing the game and forgot all about their schoolwork. And while in school, many are so focused on going home and playing their favorite game instead of paying attention in class and learning. Many children sacrifice their talents, such as music or sports, just for playing a violent video game. Some become very restless if they do not play a certain game for a specific amount of time each day, which can affect the child's mental stability. Effects of the brain after playing violent video games. Healthland.com states that Dr. Vincent Matthews and his colleagues at Indiana University have long studied media violence and looked at what happened in the brain in students who were assigned to play either a violent game or a non-violent game for every day of the week. As a result, they found that those who play these violent video games show less activity of emotion, attention, and their inhibition of their impulses. They did a few tasks to prove that there is less activity of emotion and attention. The first task they did was ask the participants to identify the color of each word rather than saying the word itself, also known as the Stroop effect. Normally, there would be a delay in identifying the color because we usually process the meaning of the word before the color. Here's an example of the Stroop effect. This color is red, but it reads as purple. The researchers found out that those who do not play violent video games showed a normal delay and show activity in emotional parts of the brain when faced with violent words, where those who do play violent video games showed less activity of the emotional parts of the brain. Another test that they tested for was attention and concentration due to playing violent video games. Participants were presented with a number of various times and were told to press not the number itself, but how many times it appeared. The violent video game participants showed a decreased activity in parts of the brain that regulate concentration and attention. The changes in the brain are not permanent, but with these results, it does change in response to playing violent video games. Parents, you have control to lower these effects from violent video games. According to www.medialit.org, to lower these effects, parents, you should explore and find alternatives to media that help solve problems without using violence. Another way to help these effects is to limit the amount of playtime. And when going out to buy your children a game, make sure you look at the ratings and check for the suggested age limit. Some may think, well, why just video games? Why not violent movies? Well, violent movies do have an effect on children as well, but video games are more likely to have a greater effect. While watching movies, we watch more as a passive viewer, where in video games we are actually participating in the violence, which makes us more involved. Now that I've told you the effects of children and teens playing violent video games and the ways you can prevent it, I encourage you all to check the ratings, suggested age before buying your children, nieces, and nephews the game, and check whether or not it's a good game for them to play. Video games are a great source of entertainment, but do not let it become a part of your child's routine.